have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, these two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So a win here in Nashville would give them the season series. 8 yards to go on second down. On the option to give to Taylor here. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. A spin. He's still on his feet. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. McCann's got it teed up. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
On play action, now Brady. Man open, here is Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Now Brady. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Titans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, Brandon, obviously no panic in them. They gave up the touchdown. You know, their defensive side did that, but he's already taken them back downfield. I love this field general that they've got. It's almost like he went to the defensive captain and said, don't worry about it. We've got you. Now they got 1st and goal.
Yeah, we're seeing punch, counter punch, and this could be setting the table for quite the game.
I like that. Let's go.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's at the 50, the 30. 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Running from the gun with Henry. And this is going to be a Titans 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Brady. Throw left side complete. That's Fletcher. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll go for it. It's Brady. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. Open man right side, Myers. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Again, it's Brady. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. And that was one I kind of saw coming, Charles. You had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means a free safety in the middle of the field, the two corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
It's second and 8 at the 30.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To the right side, this is Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Burnett. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 104 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Taylor. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 21-0. McCann's got it teed up. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this. Forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Complete to Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Elijah Molden up to make the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action. Now it's Brady. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Blesson Austin. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 139 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he's brought down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And did he break the plane? Yes, he did. Touchdown. Jonathan Taylor as the first half is winding down. And the Colts will extend their lead here just before halftime. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that challenge is successful. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor as the first half is winding down. And the Colts are able to add on to their first half lead. McCann now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you just have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Well, their first sack of the game, and it doesn't come from a usual suspect, not somebody up front, but, Charles, a defensive back getting in there.
And I can tell you from experience, he's beyond excited to make that play because you're exactly right. Is it normal to call his number to run at the quarterback like that? Usually you're defending the pass, but he takes full advantage and dumps him to the turf.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
58, right over there, right over there. Hey, check it. 58, right there. Hey. 58's Mike, 58's Mike.
Brady. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the...
That's already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 174 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Back to Taylor on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. McCann's got it teed up. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again to Henry. First down and much more for Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Hang on here. They declined that. So the yardage will stand.
There has to be confusion coming from the bench to the field about what their intentions are, because you guarantee they want the penalty. Turned down that big yardage gained against them. Instead, they turned down the penalty, and the yardage stands.
Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. When we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd and 9, Brady to the goal line, but it's incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
This is caught. Touchdown. Jakobi Meyers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to get a score back. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Oh, he bowls over it, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Off the option, here's Taylor. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hey, watch this, watch this.
Check.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. He gets him moving forward again with an 8-yard run, but they'll still be left with 14 yards to go on third. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts on third down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Colts send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Brady now on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They run once more with Taylor. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give them 9 on the pickup, but they're still a few inches short now on 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Aaron Robinson in on the stop.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Easy. 53. Hey, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
In his own end zone, it's Brady. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And some room to maneuver. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. 131 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Brady's throw there complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 7 yards the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Let's make these babies proud on the way back home.
Throwing now is Brady. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Again, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check, 43.
On play action, it's Brady. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. The point after is good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off into 4th. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. So this one winds up in